Why is it that when we hear somebody speaking in straight English, we usually give the comment, nosebleed? And why do we measure a child's intelligence by the way he speaks slang English? At meron namang mga komento na, Pilipino naman ako, why do I need to learn the language? Okay na yan, barok-barok English, etc. At pinagtatawanan natin kapag mali-mali ang pag-i-English. Do we really need to become better in English? Ang lagi kong sinasabi sa mga estudyante, oo. If we want to perform well in our workplaces, we need to speak the language well, and we have to know how to write in English well. Pero hindi pa huli ang lahat. Let's talk about paano ba tayo gagaling sa English? How do we become better in English? Let's take 5 W's. Okay, ready? Number 1. Let's take into consideration that English is both in spoken one or in the written form. So number 1 W is work with your weaknesses. Really, we need to face the facts. And what are those facts? Pwedeng mahina ka sa grammar, or magaling ka naman magsulat but you're not really good in speaking confidently in front of other people with the English language. So what is really your weakness? And also, when you think about the weaknesses, don't be so hard on yourself. Tatawanan mo rin yung sarili mo, pero kayo naman po, wag niyo naman din tawanan ng inyong anak if they're not able to speak well or write well or making some unnecessary comments. Pero, hindi po doon nagtatapos. We really need to desire to improve. Sabi nga nila, di ba? The greatest room of all is the room for improvement. Once that you are becoming courageous to face the facts that I'm not so good in grammar, I'm not so good in pronunciation, bisa-bisa iya ako, or I can write but I cannot deliver it well, the moment that you face your weaknesses, the next thing to do is, are you willing to work out on how to improve such weaknesses? Are you willing to wait to develop? Because it is a process. Please, along the process of becoming better in English, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Kaya nga pwede, laugh to last, diba? Tawanan din ang sarili kapag hindi pa maayos ang dila at bumabalubuloktot pa o nagkakakamali. Remember, we have to be willing to face our weaknesses. Number 2 is to watch, listen, and read. Watch. We have to observe everywhere, everything, using our 5 senses. Lahat ng makikita mo in English, try as much as possible to read them. Read intentionally everything. Kaya nga po, I always tell the parents of our reading boosters that we need to teach them to read labels, everything in the house, instructions, signages. We need to read everything. And we also have to listen. If you would want to become better in English, kamusta naman ang iyong mga pinapakinggan? Are you watching and are you listening to English songs? Are you listening to English podcasts? How do they pronounce the language? Kasi doon, matututo ka either by reading or by listening. Sabi nung favorite natin na author ng maraming children's books na si Dr. Seuss, the more that you read, the more that you will learn. And the more that you will learn, the more that you will know. Kaya basa lang, basa ng marami kasi input in, output din ang katumbas nun, right? We have to learn the language both consciously or unconsciously. What are the movies that you're watching? So if you're watching Korean novelas na may translation in English, bibilis ang pagbabasa in English. But if you keep on watching movies that are translated in English, wow, you'll be getting the accent and you'll be fluent also in the language pag madami ka nang napanood. The news in English, videos, even the YouTube na maayos naman in English, wow, those are ways on how to learn the language. Also, try to absorb all the information that you're getting. The one that you watch, the one that you listen to. Pakinggan mabuti and absorb as much as possible. Make it always a habit to read and watch and listen in English. Number 3 is widen your vocabulary. You cannot express and you cannot be able to understand the things that you do not know. That is why we have to make more and more input in our vocabulary bank. The English language has 3 components: that of the spelling, pronunciation, vocabulary, and even grammar. So it's actually 4 pala. So we have to learn how to spell right, what is the pronunciation. By the way, you can just Google it. You say pronounce and then type the word. You can hear the recording of how to pronounce it and follow it. Vocabulary and also subject-verb agreement. Yun lang mga simpleng kailangan matutunan. For you to widen your vocabulary, please take note of this one. This is what we're doing. Please add 2 words per day. Try as much as possible to learn 2 new words per day. Imagine if there's 365 days and you're learning 2 new words every day, ilan na yun? O diba, may dadagdag sa vocabulary mo na about 730 words. Kung gawin natin 5 words a day, tipong hahanapin mo talaga yun. Buti nga ngayon, hindi na gumagamit ang dictionary. Nung panahon namin, bit ang dictionary for you to know the meaning of a word. But now, when you get to read and get to encounter a word which you don't really know, you can Google it and now write those words so that you will not forget it and you'll be able to use it in your next reading or writing activities. What about if you're going to discipline yourself to read 10 minutes per day? With 365 days, ilang minuto ka nang nagbabasa? 3,650 minutes per day. Sa 3,650 minutes per day, ang dami-daming vocabulary words na madadagdag sa iyo. Pero lahat ng natutunan mo, unless you use them, hindi talaga magagamit ng ganap. Makakalimutan at makakalimutan mo yon. So my suggestion, Teacher Mitch's suggestion is use a notebook. Write the words, as in write the words, and when you write them, you have a chance to review them. And write sentences or essays or whatever happened to you within the day in English and i-edit mo pagkatapos mong basahin. In that way, you'll be able to widen your list of vocabulary words. Number 4, write and type everything correctly. Oh yes, nowadays, people are into cell phones. We text, we chat, we email, but most often than not, we use shortcuts. We use Jejemon. Imbis na this, T-H-I-S, or this, T-H-E-S-E, we type D-I-S. Instead of saying tomorrow, we write TMRW or marami pang LOL, etc., BTW, ano ba yun? Sorry, late reply, SLR. Oh, I don't have anything against these things, but if you want to become better in English, we have to write and type everything correctly. Kaya minsan yung mga journals ng mga bata na chinechekan namin, oh my, it's as if they're chatting, it's as if they're texting kasi maraming jejemons. When you write and type correctly, be sure that you follow the rules in capitalization, capital first letter or the words that need to be capitalized, the pronunciation, punctuation marks, I mean. Is there an exclamation point, a period, or quotation marks? Do it properly and do it correctly. And don't forget, spell it correctly. And even if you are just texting somebody na Pinoy to Pinoy, try texting in English. Try chatting in English. You'll see in the next few days, your way of becoming better in English will grow tremendously. The fifth one, be willing to practice consistently. Practice and another practice. And it has to be a commitment. What spells the difference between a champion and a loser? The champion made a commitment and he was willing to stand to his commitment to do it. Pero yung loser, wala. Kung gusto ko, gusto ko. Kung ayaw ko, ayaw ko. That's why he entertained the thought na hindi na talaga siya magde-develop, na okay na talaga yung English niya na pag ganun-ganun lang. But when you say that you're going to be willing to practice consistently, you have to have an accountability partner. Sabihin mo sa kapatid mo, sabihin mo sa mommy mo, or pangakuin ninyo yung bata, pasulat ng kontrata, that, Mommy, I'm going to read every day from 10 to 10:30 with you. Wow, if you're doing it on a consistent basis, I'm very sure your child is going to become better in English. Didn't you notice that you parents do not speak the language fluently, but your child is very slang in speaking English? What's the reason? Because they have listened to a lot of videos that is with that diction or with that pronunciation. So ganun din. If you keep on practicing what you have learned, what you have observed, what you have listened to, then you'll become better in English. Pag pwede naman, take a video. You know what's good thing about this webcast that we're doing? I get to record every week and then I watch it, because when I watch it, I guess I am able to check on myself, assess on myself, and always think of how can I improve the next time. Siyempre tatawanan yung maling grammar, maling pronunciation, but I will be better the next time. You can always ask for a feedback from your mentors, from your teachers, from your other friends, para naman makapag-improve din tayo. But be very, very sure of this, hindi pwedeng pusong mamon. We have to be open for constructive criticisms. Alam mo, yung mga taong very humble talaga to learn from their mistakes and be open to suggestions, yun talaga ang gagaling at gagaling. Hindi lang sa English, kundi pati lahat sa buhay-buhay. Make it a habit to always speak the language. If you have that habit already in the house, that you are speaking to your child in English and your child is speaking to you, talagang mag-i-improve. But minsan meron din pong kulang. They can speak well, but they cannot write well. So make it also a habit to ask them to have a journal, a notebook, wherein they write notes to you, or maybe they can text you or chat you in straight English. And please make sure that you're reminding them of the punctuation marks, the capitalization, and the right spelling. Be tough. Whenever you're not becoming better after a few days or even a few weeks, remember, becoming better in English is a habit, is a long-term journey, but it's a process. But surely, gagaling din tayong lahat sa pag-i-English. Dapat puno ng pag-asa at puno ng tiwala. One good thing about us in the house is that we have kids around. So we get to practice a lot of times. We speak to our children who are very slang in speaking the language, as in talagang nosebleed kung nosebleed. But ang sarap lang magkamali in front of the little children because they won't mind your grammar as long as you keep on practicing. Parang driving din lang yan. Sa una babangga-bangga, babarok-barok, but eventually, you'll become better. Bakit nga yung marami nating kababayan who do not speak well of the language, but when they go to other countries, they're very, very slang in speaking the language? Because they listened, they heard, and they kept on practicing it. So, I hope that everyone here who is listening to this webcast will become better in speaking or even writing in English. Tandaan, 5 W's. If you like this video and you think this is helpful to you and to your child, subscribe naman to this channel and please be willing to share it to other people.
Time for school!
For a brighter kids, for a better future, for your partners and preparing your children, for a bigger world, for a good foundation. Wise Kids School is the right one for you. Wise Kids School is the right one for you. Wise Kids School for the children of tomorrow. We do our best to train up your kids to be the prime movers of the next generation. Wise Kids School for the children of tomorrow.
Wise Kids School, the right one for your children.